When I think of my childhood, I think of three things: Pokemon, Power Rangers, and the Sega Mega Drive. As a child, the Mega Drive and the Master System were the two systems I played the most, usually with my brother. The truth being told here, we never actually owned a SNES until years later, when I found one in a charity shop, and the NES we always had, but I never got into until much later. As a result, we got a lot of the two-player games for the Mega Drive, but above all else, we really like side-scrolling beat-em-ups. Of this, there were two we placed above all others: Streets of Rage 2 and this game, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game. A film tie-in game, you screech, thinking of abysmal shoddy ports, but actually this is not one of them. Power Rangers is actually pretty bloody good, and it's one of the few cases where the Sega version of a game was much better than the Nintendo version. Responsive controls, you got well-paced gameplay, and a little pinch of liberties to get away from the source film's plot. It delves into a few episodes of the show, offering a chance to play as the original yellow, red and black Rangers, but mainly it's good because of the fantastic rendition of the famous Power Rangers music. On of course the thing the Mega Drive did best, the Sega synthesizer. It's what I've been using as music for this review, and it is utterly brilliant. Have a listen. You've probably also noticed that I'm playing this with a second player. While I don't live at home anymore, and I certainly don't live with my brother, I do live with my wife, and this is actually her first time playing the game. So let's take off my rose-tinted glasses, peel off the nostalgia blinders, and let a newbie tell you what she thought.
So, I played the Power Rangers game for the Sega Genesis with Adam today, and I know pretty much nothing about the Power Rangers. Adam knows a ton about them. I was never allowed to watch the show as a kid because my family was weird like that. I also know pretty much nothing about Sega games because we were a devoted Nintendo household. Whole family was up until the PS2 was a thing. No clue why there either. Anyway, Adam bugged me enough to be his player too, to review this game, and my opinions come from a place of indifference and it is unbiased. First thing I will say is that this is a kid's game. It should be obvious because it's Power Rangers. But anyway, being a kid's game, it's easy. You punch, you kick, you jump, you throw, and oh yeah, there's giant robots too. There's nothing complex about this game. You see an enemy, you beat it up until it's gone, rinse and repeat. The game is also very, very short. The biggest reason is that it's meant for kids, and kids have the attention span of fleas. Second reason is the game also plays like an arcade game, and it has credits to get a new life, like the same way that you would if you were putting coins into an arcade. Arcade games are by nature short, and the reason is because they're in a public space, you're standing on your feet, and there's other people behind you waiting for their turn. You don't want that going on too long. Playing it as an adult, I'd be disappointed by this game. It's short and monotonous. It's hard to keep my attention. There's only one thing that you do in this game, and that's beat up the enemies. The thing that I like most is the teamwork aspect of it. It's satisfying when you team up with someone to just bash an enemy perfectly back and forth. This game is perfect for kids. If you could hand this game to any kid that can hold a controller and play with them. It's easy, but not in the way that most kids' games are, to the point it almost talks down to you. I can see why people have fond memories of it. If you're a kid and you can't get your friends over to play video games, it's a great one to hand to a sibling of any age and get them to play with you. As an adult, I probably won't play it, Though, if there was a kid around me and wanted me to play with them, I wouldn't mind.
See, with some of this I agree, and some I do not. I agree that it's short. You can beat it in under an hour in multiplayer. A little longer in single, but one could argue that it is due to the game attempting to emulate the arcade feel, which games sacrificed length for difficulty. On that tangent, yeah, it's easy. In multiplayer. Single player is another story, given that you'd have a second player to back you up. Then again, speedrunners in single player have got this game down to about 45 minutes, so yeah. Alas, if you are a fan of the original Power Rangers, you're gonna love this. It's responsive, punchy, has great music, and kicks an awful lot of ass. That said, it is short, straightforward, and definitely best with a friend. Given that you can get this game cheaply, it's definitely worth looking into. It's a pretty solid way to spend an afternoon. I mean, it's either this or that awesome but really fucked up Adi Shankar bootleg, right? Stay safe, cupcakes.